What's the deal, YouTube? It's your boy Nxtgen 720, and I am back with another video. Before I start the video, let's let me go here. Let me pause this. Actually, let me thumbs up, share it. I'm always late, right? Hold on one second, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, hold on, ladies and gentlemen. I'm about to start this video. Join me live. All right. I like doing these. I'm sorry, man. I do. I get a kick out of them. I think they're funny as hell. I think they're fun as hell. I just like interacting with my audience, man. I'm sorry. I need to get me a late night show or something, or a radio show that I can sit and just talk to my viewers or my subscribers, or people that really rock out with your boy. But you see the title of the video here, and it's something that I've been saying from day one. And the reason why I've been saying this from day one is because Microsoft has been saying this, said this since day one. You know what I mean? Make this smaller. Hold on one second, ladies and gentlemen, before I start today's video. I need my Mac service, man. I don't know what the hell, man. This Mac be bugging sometimes. It be bugging. But anyway, when they unveiled the Xbox One back in, I believe it was March of 2013, they asked Microsoft then would their console be capable of putting data up at 4K resolution. Microsoft then turned around and said to them, it'll be up to the developers. Not much was, I guess it was taken with a grain of salt. Like, how the hell can you put out at 4K resolution when you can't even get above 720p, Xbox 720p. But I'm gonna read this to you right here, maybe before I get into the new update that we got, which allows 4K streaming on the Xbox One. And this is from, I'm sorry, they unveiled the console in May, maybe or March, April, whenever the hell they unveiled it. You know what the hell I'm talking about, maybe it was May. Microsoft confirms the Xbox One will support 4K resolution and 3D. Microsoft Larry Hyber, aka Major Nelson, has confirmed that the Xbox One hardware is able to output in 4K resolution and will support 3D content following the console big reveal on Tuesday. The official word came during a Yahoo chat session held on Wednesday, and which Hyber said Xbox support both 3D and 4K resolution when responding to a question. Of course, games are not yet supported in 4K as the technology has not been made mainstream to game studios, but on the Xbox One, users will have the ability to play 4K resolution movies through a Blu-ray drive when the console launches later this year. If they have the so expensive television support, however, unlike PlayStation 4 that won't support 4K games, Microsoft used to mental force that if the technology did arrive, the Xbox One could handle 4K games and other 4K content down the road. Let me repeat that again, ladies and gentlemen. Like I told you, I don't pay Microsoft as liars. Now it's all starting to make sense. Of course, games are not yet supported in 4K as the technology has not been made mainstream to the game studios. But on the Xbox One, users will have the ability to play 4K resolution movies through the Blu-ray drive when the console launches later this year. If they have the so expensive television support, however, unlike the PlayStation 4 that won't support 4K games, Microsoft Yusuf Mehdi told Forbes that if the technology did arise, the Xbox One could handle 4K games and other 4K content down the road. Microsoft has done a bit of future proofing here for when it comes to 4K. It makes its way into the more homes across the world in the coming years. There's no hardware restriction there at all. Mehdi said, until we see the 4K chip, the Xbox will output games in 1080p. Check this shit out now. Now, Microsoft just had, if you're in the preview program, they just had an update. If you're in the in the in the preview program. Let me read this to you. Very important. I'm not going to talk about the OS version is 6.2129.980 and all that stuff doesn't make it. Release date 6/5/2015. New order or updated feature multiplayer and party chat updates. Fixes to address multiplayer issues across a few titles. Made some small updates to the party app to help team better understand issues reported by the community. Game bundles update fixes an issue with certain types of disk-based bundle games that were not properly installed. Here we go. 10-bit HD high efficiency video coding HEVC platform supported added. High efficiency video coding HEVC, very important. Remember that. The 10-bit HD HEVC enables video streaming apps like Netflix to use lower bandwidth to deliver HD quality video streams. 10-bit ultra color increase the video color precision from 8 bits to 10 bits. With 8 bits, you only get 16 million colors, but with 10-bit ultra color precision, you'll get 1 billion lifelike color. That makes your video more vibrant. You know, they don't call 4K resolution, they call it Ultra HD. Now check it out. Now this is in the new update. So now they're gonna have Netflix and Hulu or whatever like shit in 4K right now on your Xbox. Right now, in the new update, and they're probably gonna announce more of this shit at E3, you gotta read in between the lines. It says here the HD high efficiency video coding, aka the HEVC platform supported added 10-bit HD HEVC enabled video streaming apps like Netflix to use lower bandwidth to deliver HD quality video streams. 10-bit ultra color increases the video color precision from 8 bits to 10 bits. With 8 bits, you only get 16 million colors. Listen to this. With 8 bits, you only get 16 million colors. But with 10-bit ultra color precision, you'll get 1 billion lifelike color. That makes your video more vibrant. And they also talking about 4K resolution, screensavers and, background stuff. Like, this is huge, man. Like, this is huge. The Xbox, like they said, really was beta tested in the future. I know a lot of people hate on the Xbox for whatever reason, but look how much this console has evolved since day one. Look how much this console has evolved. Now, this is not my opinion on something. This is listen to this. This is shout out to the 19 people watching me live. This is fact. This is not my opinion. I'm not voicing my opinion on something. I'm giving you something that Microsoft said out of their own mouth 2 years ago. No one believed them. You know what I mean? How do you do 4K anything when you can't even do 720p? 720p. How can you do 4K anything when you can't do 720? Like, people don't. I told you guys the Xbox One will continue to evolve. Will continue to get stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. Like me, I have a 4K television. My remote's over there. Now, right now, I have, the 4K. I like you saying, I call it a Roku player, but Sony's 4K HD hub where you can rent movies in 4K and stuff. And also, I have the Netflix. I can do 4K on my television right now. So, but the Xbox One is my main stop for entertainment in my household. So I have a 4K television in my front room. I have one here, and also have one in the bedroom now. So all the television here is 4K. I have 2 Xboxes. I'm going to get another one. I was waiting to see if they announced a Slim. So I have one in the bedroom, one in the front room, and one in my gaming room here. You know what I mean? I'm going to get my 4-year-old. I'm going to get her a Wii U. My 12-year-old has a Wii U. I'm sorry, my 12-year-old. My 9-year-old has a Wii U. But I'm gonna get her own, video game thing, so she can stay out of daddy's room when she does come here. Right now, she's all about playing video games on tablets and her iPhone. But this is huge, you know what I mean? Like, oh, this is like it's crazy. Microsoft, they make a big announcement. If you look at the, I'm actually gonna leave a link here. I'm gonna put the link in the video, you guys. If you think I'm jiving, I'm gonna put the link right here. Go down to and you just drop down to the OS version. and reading right there, and it tells you what's coming. You know what I mean? What we're getting. You know, 10-bit HD HEVC enabled video streaming apps like Netflix to use lower bandwidth to deliver HD quality video stream. 10-bit Ultra, that's what they call it. They don't call it 4K resolution, they call it Ultra HD. 10-bit Ultra Color increases the video color precision from 8 bits to 10 bits. With 8 bits, you only get 16 million colors, but with 10-bit Ultra Color precision, you get 1 billion lifelike color that makes your video format more vibrant. God damn. Could you imagine the selling point on that? They can just sell the Xbox One with a year's worth of Netflix, and at the bottom of the box put 4K, able to do 4K Netflix, 4K resolution, whatever. I told you what 343 Studios said about the Master Chief Collection. That had, if they wanted to, they could have put the Halo the Halo 2 remastered. They could have did that in 4K resolution, which I wish they did, but they had to run their 2 separate engines. You know what I mean? They said they could have did that in 4K resolution if they wanted to. You know what I mean? But they had to do it in. They had to show the older version and the newer version, which I wish they just would have did it in 4K and left you the option to play the other one, the old school way to look. Fuck switch it on the fly. You know, you could just switch it on the fly, and that took take up a lot of resources to go from old school, new school, on the fly, old school, new school, on the fly. You know what I mean? You know, so like I said, it is what it is, though. But like I said, you know what? Probably the first games that we're going to see in 4K are going to probably be some little indie games. You know what I mean? You know, probably going to see some, little indie games. But still, it's a start. You know what I mean? You know, I'm probably going to see some 2D side scroller. Shovel. You tell me right now, Shovel Knights could be done in 4K resolution on the Xbox One. Like, I'm just keeping it funky. You know what I mean? You tell me again, like, iDark couldn't be done in 4K resolution. Just think about it. It's probably going to be the first games we see are going to be, iDark and, games like that, will be in 4K resolution. What's another one? Give me another, the little low budget indie games. Like, those can, be done in 4K resolution. You know what I mean? Just look, games like Peggle, they're already pretty, but it's not demanding much on the system. But it's like, now with this update from 8-bit to 10-bit, that's 1 billion colors. Jesus, I didn't think it was that many, but damn, that's a lot of chicken. Let me sign in. That's a lot of chicken, my daughter. You see me playing, like when you be online, you see my profile lit up. If you guys didn't know, my gamer tag is Zaire. If you see anyone playing Peggle, that's my daughter and my wife. They go do, and listen, it's crazy for her to be 4 years old. She really duels and she really gets it in, man. She really gets it in. But I left the link down there. You can read for yourself. And I also left the, in there about Microsoft, what they said about 4K. Said when the technology arrives, the Xbox One will be able to support, 4K resolution. Like I said, why when Microsoft says this thing like they're being considered liars. I don't peg Microsoft as being liars. They've been brutally honest about everything, down to the DRM, down to the always online. They've been honest about everything. Enjoying the party, I'm doing a video. You know what I mean? They've been honest about everything. You know what I mean? So I don't see what the big to do and the big to deal is when it comes into Microsoft with the things that they say. You know what I mean? Just because the PlayStation 4 can't do it, that doesn't mean that the Xbox One can't. You know what I mean? It is perceived that the Xbox One is the weaker console, but it's not. Like Albert Pinello said, and I know I keep going back and saying the same thing. There's no way in hell that we would give our biggest competitor a 30% advantage. There are things not yet known about our console. That's why I cannot wait to E3. I cannot wait to Gamescom. I cannot wait to see these games that are coming out this holiday season. It's really going to set the bar. You know what I mean? Now, I guarantee you this. I will bet anybody right now that's in the comment section of the video watching it live that the games this holiday season that's coming out on the Xbox One look better than anything that's come out on the PS4. Anything. And I'm taking all bets. I'm taking all bets. We can shit, you know what I mean? If you ain't got no channel, my channel worth a little bit of money now, you know what I mean? I'm doing pretty good here on the YouTube tip. You know what I mean? I done made $100 in 3 days on YouTube. That just off my videos alone. But we can bet whatever. We can do $20 gift cards. Xbox, brother, keep it simple. We ain't gotta get all outrageous. We can do $20 gift cards. Xbox Live points or PSN points, and the bet is that the games that come out this holiday season will look better than anything that's been done on the PlayStation 4. That's the bet. Let me know if any Sony dude out there want to take that bet. We can make it happen. Like, I'm dead ass serious, man. We can make it happen. You know what I mean? Like, real talk, we can make it happen. You know what I mean? Like this, but anyway, like I said, like I always do, I like to get you guys involved. I like these posts, man. Put the mic back up. I like to get you guys involved in the conversation that I got going on. How do you feel about the 4K thing? Do you have a 4K television? Because they're dirt cheap now, They're dirt cheap now. You can get a decent 4K television for about $1,500, $1,300. They're dirt cheap. They're phasing out the 1080p's. You see how the 1080p phased out the 720p. Now the 4Ks are starting to phase out the 1080p's. You know what I mean? So this has become standard. Then, like 2 years from now, you're gonna have 8K resolution. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I said the 4K is the last TV that I stop at. But knowing me, I like gadgets. You know what I mean? I like stuff. I like gadgets. You know what I mean? The 8K television will be the last TV that I buy. You know what I mean? And I get rid of this. What I do is this one right here. I'll put this one in my daughter room, and I'll put the 8K in here. You know what I mean? Look to see that in the market in probably about 2 years. I remember I read an article back in 99 or 2000 on the internet where Samsung had their technology show, whatever the case, and it was in Taiwan. And this technology is not new. It's not new. It's old. And they showed the audience their quote unquote, it was an 80-inch or 78-inch screen. They showed them their video or some pictures. They showed them, and then people got motion sickness. You got to realize back in 2001, back in 99, 2000, we didn't even have 720p. We was doing everything in 480p, 480i. You know what I mean? You didn't really have anything that was in HD, really. You understand what I'm saying? If you did it, maybe 1080i, and I don't even think that back in 2000, bro. Just think about it. I read that article in 99, 2000. They said when they showed the people came out of there throwing up, dizzy, head, they got motion sickness. So right there, they had to progressively move the people along. So 1080i to 720p, and from 720p to 1080p, and that's been the standard for a while. And within the last 2 years, we just now got 4K resolution. And you can see they're already talking about showing them 8K television at these CNET events. You know what I mean? Look to see those on the market in about 2 years. You know what I mean? And like I said, 4K televisions are becoming now the standard, whether you like it or not. You know what I mean? 1080p, that's very old. It's not nothing new. It's old, especially when it comes to PC gaming. You know what I mean? So look within 2 years to see 8K televisions on the market. And I'm going to buy one more set. That's it. I don't know if I'm going to buy the first batch of 8K television or the second batch, but that will be my last television that I buy. I'm not buying it until it breaks, you know what I mean? Then I'll start replacing them all if they're reasonable. Long, you know what I mean? I'm not going to spend, like I lost my mind when I bought you guys seen the video I did in Best Buy. I spent over $9,000 on a goddamn television, a 4K television. If you don't believe me, go to my Instagram, Zaire 2005. A lot of you guys said I didn't pay for. I got pictures of my boy. And it was crazy. It was crazy, with a lot of you guys here on YouTube, not the real dudes, but the weirdos. They said I cut the video right before I paid for it. And I don't come into YouTube to brag or boast about anything, you know what I mean? Because the following week later, I went with another 4K television. I didn't mention it anywhere, but if you go to my Instagram, Zaire 2005, you can see both of the 4K televisions that I bought then. Now, I don't have those televisions anymore because, like I said, I had a fire. I've since then replaced them and got, newer televisions, you know what I mean? But, yeah, it is what it is. I would never spend $9,000 on another television again. Don't get me wrong. When I first got the set, and by me looking at it, it blew my mind. I was like, oh, my God, this shit is so realistic. Like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it blew my mind. Like, and when, right now, guys, if you got a Sony, I didn't know this at the time, but if you got a 4K television, especially Sony. Only 2 of your ports support 4K. And it does the ports that are labeled HDML. On the Sony televisions, I think they're port 2 and port 4, HDMI 2 and 4, I believe, or 1 and 3. I believe either or, but they say HDML. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? That's how you know you got the. Hold on. Yeah, that's how you know you got in 4K, and this is how you know you got the newer set, because when you hit the go sit down, Daddy working. What's that? What's that?
It's a ring light.
Okay, give me. Stay in mommy drawers. Go sit down. This is when you know you got a newer one. You hit the home button, PlayStation Home. That's when you know you got the newer Sony television. They got the PlayStation Home on. You know what I mean? But yeah. But anyway, what do you guys think? Back to what I was saying. What do you guys think? You know, if you want to see my older sets, like I said, Zaire 2005 is my Instagram account. But what do you guys think about that? About the full 4K thing? Are you ready for the 4K jump? Are you looking to get a 4K television down the road somewhere? You know, let me know what you guys think. Like I said, I'm going to answer you guys. Answer me right now in the comment section. Read some of your answers here live on the air. Shout out to the 50 people watching me live. No questions. Come on, baby, ladies and gentlemen. What do you guys think? You know, what do you guys think? I guess, you know what I mean? Are you willing to make that jump? Are you willing to make that leap towards 4K gaming? Like we hear, it's right around the corner. It's becoming, like I told you, it's becoming the standard. You can buy a 4K graphics card. I think NVIDIA, I don't know much about AMD cards, but the 970, I believe, can do 4K. A pretty, you know, cheap card. I think it's like $300 or something like that. $250, $300. You can get a 970 GTX 970 that can do 4K gaming. You know what I mean? So even the NVIDIA Shield console, I heard it can do 4K. You know what I mean? And that's about $200-300. You know what I mean? So like I said before, you guys ready for the jump? Are you ready for the leap? Xbox One owners, are you ready for that leap? Graphics card. I think NVIDIA. Are you ready for that leap? You know what I mean? Let me review the comments. Let me make them available. Live events. See? So now, when I said this before, you know, that the Xbox One was going to have 4K capabilities. But go back to my older videos. Everybody called me everything but a child of God. Called me an Xbox. Called me a fanboy. I even had some, check this, this is the crazy part. I even had some pro Xbox channels attacking me, doing videos at me, talking about shots fired, and this, that, and the other. One, I think he's a small YouTuber. One guy, I never had a problem with dude either. He's from We Game Here. Darian is King did a video about me. That's what I understand. But like, you know, when it comes to this internet thing, like I said, I don't mess with too many YouTubers. But yeah, you know what I mean? Everybody's looking to build their name and to come off something. You know what I mean? Everybody's looking for the next big thing. But you know, here we got the comments here. But everybody, like I said, wants to be the next big who. So to take me down and make me, quote unquote, to make me look fools, instead of doing their homework and doing their research, to say that 4K seems so out of the way, out of the loop when they're struggling, you know, hitting 1080p. Like I told you guys, the Xbox One is continually growing. And listen, I told you, and I'm not going to say I fuck with developers. I fuck, you know, when my man Bites of Chicken, that's one dev that I fuck with. I fuck with a developer that works at Ubisoft. You know what I mean? I got 2 close friends that work at Game Informer. I fuck with another developer that works at Rockstar. Like, since I've been doing these videos and shit, I've met several people within the industry. And then, you know what I mean, they've said we haven't even scratched the surface of what the Xbox One could do. Look at a launch game like Rise, and that's just a launch game. You understand what I'm saying? Like I said, that's just a launch game on those old. It's amazing to me what they were able to achieve with a game like Rise on those old SDK kits. It fucking baffled me. Like I said, Gamescom and E3 2015 is one that we see a lot. These first games, holiday games using Unreal sorry, using DirectX 12 is going to blow our mind. And we talked about it yesterday in the podcast. Maybe they should start doing this, is that to advertise in DirectX 12. Put it on the box at the bottom, right? Say only on Xbox One. Put this game was made with only possible with DirectX 12. These visuals, or something like that to start to hype it. You know what I mean? But we got a few questions in here. From Killing Spree 8X Spree 8. For me personally, 4K is not big enough of a jump in graphic fidelity to make me buy a new TV. Listen, that is your opinion. You are entitled to your opinion, but I can tell you this: it's night and day. You can't go by what videos you see on TV. When you get that thing in your house, even when you're looking at Netflix on it, it's night and day. You know what I mean? And with these TVs here, they can upscale. You know, these we use the 2 ports. They upscale. You know what I mean? Not saying to be native, but when you're watching a Blu-ray movie or something on these on those 2 slots, like I was telling you, it looks amazing. You know what I mean? Orange Exorcist, but I can't wait for 4K TV game and Nintendo NX going to destroy the Xbox and the PlayStation. LOL. Maybe destroy the Xbox One and the PS4, but not the PS5 and whatever else Microsoft comes out with, whatever they decide to call their console. I do expect Nintendo's new console to be more powerful than the Xbox One and the PS4. It's newer hardware. But that's, again, what you Nintendo fans don't understand, just like with the Wii U, you said the Wii U was going to destroy the PS3 and the 360. That didn't happen. You do got to realize that the next Nintendo NX is not in competition with the PS4 and the Xbox One. That competition, that's the 9th generation console, will be the next Xbox and the PlayStation 5. So that's what you should be talking about. You said it's going to destroy the PS5 and the Xbox, whatever it's called, the Xbox, we call it the Xbox Infinity. I doubt that very seriously, bro. We'll call it the Xbox Above and Beyond. I doubt that very seriously, brother. Christopher Taylor, do you think Xbox Live Arcade is going to make a comeback at E3 and Xbox 360 games streaming to the Xbox One? Yes, that's possible, and that will be huge. You know, that it is. I miss the Xbox Arcade. Like I said, you know, see, look, I'm glad you brought this up. It's not that I have a problem with these indie games or whatever the case. It seemed like the games that came out every Wednesday on the Xbox Live Arcade took advantage of the 360 hardware. These indie games, stuff that's coming out now, they're not taking advantage of the PS4 and the Xbox One hardware. That's when I have a problem with it. You know what I mean? I just like, come on. They just put out a bunch of shit, a bunch of crap. And I partially blame Sony for that. You know what I mean? Oh, just to put all these games on there, you know, and they don't call them indies, they call them games. Just to put all these games on their platform. We got a big diversity, put on a bunch of bullshit. You know, they put out a bunch of bullshit. You know, there should be a level of there should be a level of scrutiny that before these games, either Microsoft or Sony accept them. I mean, you know what I mean? A game like, don't get me wrong, you take a game like IDAR, graphically is horrible looking game, but it's a fun and it's an addictive game. You know what I mean? I played it a lot on Mother's Profile. You know what I mean? But you imagine if a game like IDAR had some next generation graphics, forget about it. That thing, even though it is addictive, that thing would have took off like a rocket ship to the moon. You know what I mean? 17 inches of gaming. I definitely get mine tax return talking about your 4K television. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. That's the best time to buy them when they go on sale, because that's when the newer sets. Vizio has a lot of 4K televisions right now, $1,000. I think it's the E series or P series or whatever the fuck they call them. They have higher model ends, but you can get a Vizio, I think a 55 or whatever, 47 for $1,000. You know what I mean? Sony, the TV that I have in my front was a 55-inch Sony 4K television. I got that on sale for $1,300. 4K, beautiful picture. You know what I mean? Beautiful picture. I'm gonna tell you guys right now. Sony has the, and I'm not, I'm keeping it funky. Here's my remote to one of them. Like you guys think that's to be bullshit, just to be talking. Like, let me show you something. Let me go back to my camera. Where's my camera? Here's one. If it comes with, with two, here's one. And I'm not a Sony dude. Two. And I'm not a Sony dude. Three. You understand what I'm saying? Sony got the best 4K TVs on the market right now, man. I'm keeping it funky, man. That's how I'm telling. I ain't gonna turn the air on because I don't want the noise in the background. You see me sweating back here. Shout out to my brother, Mr. Free to Be Me. Damn, the Xbox One does everything. Games, apps, streaming, snap, now 4K. Damn, dog. Next, all we need is for the Xbox One to get a feature where it can stand guard at the door in case of a burglary. LOL, I got my 4K TV ready just in case, man. This nigga. Hey, listen, let me tell you right now, if you guys want to see the best gaming setup around on the anywhere that I've ever seen, Mr. Free to Be Me 21, I mean Mr. Free to Be Me 1, click his name, look at his gaming setup. I bullshit you not, destroys everything. The reason why I haven't done much in my room, in this room here, I'm hopefully, God willing, and you know, everything I looks to be buying a new home in the December or so. Look to be buying a new home. You guys know I have a fire. This place here is rigging. So you know what I mean? But I got something I want to do. I got my own little room here. It's a 3-bedroom apartment that we have here. You know what I mean? But look, hopefully in like I said, December we're able to buy a new home. And it is what it is. Hey Zaya, would you work at IGN if they offered you? Yes, I would. I would bring a level of credibility. They need a true Xbox personality there. If I had to sacrifice my integrity, no. Because, you know, it ain't about the money with me. I got money. I got guap. Your boy got guap. It ain't about that. But, yeah, you know, to give us Xbox fans a true voice. Because Brian McCaffrey is doing a horrible job, man. You know, it is what it is, man. Kelvin Brandon, Sharp is the only company that has 8K broadcast monitors and broadcast cameras, too. Expensive for customers at this time to bring it to market. I don't know if Sony's going to get out of the TV business, but all of them have Panasonic. All of them. Look at the CNET. Maybe Sharp is the only ones with theirs out on the market. I don't even think you can buy them on the market, but broadcast monitors and stuff, that's more like for television, you know, news reports and stuff. But yeah, 8K is around the corner, you know what I mean? And 4K, like I said, you know what I mean, 8K will be the last TV that I buy. I don't care what unless they come up with a TV. What they said they were coming out with the 3D without the glasses and put it right in. Like I would buy one of those. You know what I mean? Like I would buy one of those in a heartbeat to be able to play the game and it's right there on my floor playing. Well, that's why I was looking so. I was hoping that Illuminum came out. Like you know what I mean. Plus they just showed something with the HoloLens and then playing Borderlands. And then, you know, oh my God! If you guys haven't seen it, Google it. Borderlands running on HoloLens. It looks amazing. If you have a 4K smart TV, there's no need for the consoles to have it, if not gaming in 4K. Why not? The more the merrier. The more the merrier. Like you know what I mean? Like you know why not? I would rather have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. You know what I mean? I want my console to do everything. I don't want to change from, you know, my console setting TV can go from HDMI 2 port 2 to 4. No, I want to do everything on one channel, everything. Hell no. Mike Swagger Ball 774 said, "I will eat you. I cannot eat you. I will eat your mom. Pac-Man will eat you. Will you make a video on how to do your mom?" Mike Swagger Boss. Bro, you a little. I don't know what the fuck to say about that. When you want to eat something, you can eat this dick, you weirdo. Dutch Master Skiller. Wait, hold up. The Xbox One will be the only console to do 4K output. Yes, sir. First off, Sony will be doing the same exact shit. No, they would not. Please, brother, before you start spewing shit you don't know nothing about, I left a link in the description. That's not my opinion. This is coming from the Edge, Tech Buffalo. They would not. It does not have those. Sony said out of their own mouth they would not be doing 4K stuff. Like so, before you start saying shit you don't know what to talk about. Yes, hold on. Yes, baby.
My food is not working for my cold.
It's got allergies. You don't have a cold. It's gonna kick in a minute. You get that if you go get your ice pop and sit down, okay? I'll be there in 1 second. And what's the big thing about if Microsoft can do it, Sony can do it too? It's not even listen. I'm gonna tell you guys again. Microsoft spent $3 billion developing the Xbox One. Sony spent 4.75 developing the PS4. No, listen, you see the Xbox One I believe came with a 4K HDMI cord. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It came with a 4K HDMI cord, so it is what it is. If I'm not mistaken. You know, look at that flimsy ass HDMI that came with your PS4. Like, come on, bro. You gotta get out of that. We gotta be grown ass men. You gotta get out of if Microsoft can do it, Check him out. He said, first off, Sony will be doing the same exact shit. Second, the 4K will have zero to do with gaming, it's strictly for streaming video. He must then read the article. I put third, I'm done, man. This is one on some next level bullshit of live. I stick with Crack Gamer for his stream of big gamer small. Listen, I don't give a fuck if you leave. And when you leave, suck a dick, son. I'm not making this shit up. Read what it. Listen, look for your dumb ass. Let me read it to you again. Microsoft, listen, of course, games are not yet supported in 4K as the technology has not been made mainstream to game studios. But on the Xbox One, users would have the ability to play 4K resolution movies through the Blu-ray drive. And when the console launches later this year, if they have the also expensive television to support it, however, unlike the PlayStation 4 that won't support 4K games, Microsoft U7 told Forbes that if the technology did arrive, the Xbox One can handle this. So how am I lying? This is coming straight from Microsoft's mouth. How the fuck am I lying? See, I see motherfuckers like that when they catch them, just put your face right here. Slap the shit out. You don't know what the fuck you talking about. You know what I mean? And it says from Sony came out their mouth and said, that's what I hate about the weirdos, man. Instead of giving credit, give congratulations credit is due. You get these motherfucking weirdos. If Sony can do it, Microsoft can do it too, and the same thing vice versa. I hate the Xbox fan. If Sony got something that the Xbox One can't do, they can't do it. Fine. Like, you know what I mean? Sony got the little cute technology with the controller when you're playing some of the game. It felt like you're shaking something up in the controller. The Xbox One can't do that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, goddamn, get credit what credit is due. Get off the weirdo shit, man. I just stick to crap. So who gives a fuck? Stick Crack Gamer's dick down your throat while you at it. Game King 2323, Next Gen 720. What's good, my dude? Gears of War, you ready? I'm bugging the fuck out. Hell yeah, I'm ready. Hell yeah, I'm ready. You know what I mean? The Xbox One will probably be able to put out Limbo in 4K 30 frames at some point, but that'll be pushing the system. Whatever the case may be, solid fingers. I'm just letting you know what Microsoft said. Whatever, I didn't say we'd get Gears of War 4 and 4K resolution. I didn't say that. I said most likely it'd be some arcade games, but it's the fact that it's being done on a console. That's something to give them a pat on the back about it. You know what I mean? LRM3693. People with 4K TVs are going to love this update. Yes, sir. HEVC is also what's going to allow the Xbox One to stream to PC when Windows 10 comes around. Yes, sir. HEVC also allows the same quality as H.264 at half the bitrate, compressed better too, and supports up to 8K. Wow. I'm guessing the update streaming apps like Netflix will be coming in the next update. Yes, sir. Blazing Phoenix. Shout out to LRM3693. That was a good comment, bro. Appreciate it. That's why I do these type of videos, to interact with you guys. I really have a good time doing this. And I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna do all my videos like this, but when a big enough topic comes out, we're gonna have fun with it and just it is what it is. Blazing Phoenix. Hi, bro. Said after it's hell in here, but I can't cut the air conditioner fan on because I don't want it to blow off the mic. This mic is sensitive as hell. Blazing Phoenix. Hi, bro. After E3, we should do a big game of small talk and DirectX show talk. So I'm with it. Talk show crossover podcast. We can talk about what made you buy an Xbox One and your E3 thoughts. It will be epic podcast. We'll keep it Xbox. I'm with it, man. Yeah, we can do that. We can definitely do that, man. You know what I mean? You get your peoples to talk to my peoples and my peoples to talk to your peoples. Like, shout out to Blazing Phoenix, my little brother. I really love that dude, man. True Xbox fan, respectful dude, man, a family man. I got a lot of love for that dude right there. Like I said, I don't fuck with many YouTubers, but he's one of the ones, like I said, I got genuinely got love for, man. Some real shit. Amazing Yago, 4K gaming is not on console. Only movie pictures, video streaming, not game. PS4 already. No, it does not. Did you just listen? Amazing Yago's here. We go another one. If Microsoft can do it, Sony can do it too. Read the article. Before you start spitting out bullshit, people get to teasing you. Read the article. You know what I mean? Read the article. Mick Jagger 2223 said, bro, you are the gaming community king of propaganda, bro. Rap. What did I say in this video wasn't true? Did I not leave the links? Did I not leave the proof? So how can you say I'm the king of propaganda? We got another one, Sax Rebel, but the Xbox One can barely output 1080p. Oh my God. We got another one. First of all, Sax, what's up, you Wii U weirdo? Secondly, could you please read the links in the left that I left? See, I think you guys be all going off emotions. We can never have just a civilized conversation. I left the links there. I left you the proof there. It's not something that I'm saying. It's something that Microsoft's saying. What part of the you said the Xbox One was never made for DirectX 11? It was made for DirectX 12 and Windows 10. We have yet to see the true capabilities of the Xbox One. Why? Because, you know, don't get me wrong. Well, the Xbox One uses some DirectX 12 features because it's already the low-level API. I'm sorry, it's already close. It's not about being closer to the metal. It's about making everything work in there like a fine-tuned machine, like it was made to do. You know what I mean? All cores to be able to communicate with the GPU simultaneously. You can't do that with DirectX 11. That's one of the main features of DirectX 12. The Xbox One has an 8-core CPU. 1 core is allocated for the OS, so you have seven and a half. I mean, you have 7 that can communicate with the GPU simultaneously. You can't do that with DirectX 11. Okay. Also, sit down, brother. Schools and section. Also, along with this update, you get a PIX tool, which is for the ESRAM. That's why a lot of games were not able to hit 1080p because they used the ESRAM wrong. And with this new tool, it shows developers the best way to use the ESRAM to achieve whatever they're trying to achieve, whether it be 1080p and whatever. You know what I mean? That's what people don't understand. I got another one. Lower turret. Dude, most of the time it struggles with 900p. Bro, what part of this then you want? Did you listen? Again, I'm gonna start reading these comments, man, because obviously you didn't read what I wrote here. First of all, I said streaming. We're talking about 4K, you know what I mean, streaming Netflix and all this stuff. Then I went and said that, you know, most probably the games that only can be done in 4K on the Xbox One will be probably games like Limbo or iDarb or something like that. I didn't say games like Halo 19, and I didn't say that not one time. You know what I mean? But if you read what's here, I'm gonna read it slash. I'm gonna read it for you guys here. Of course, games are not yet supported in 4K as the technology has not been made mainstream to game studios. But on the Xbox One, users will have the ability to play 4K resolution movies through the Blu-ray drive when the console launches later this year. And they have the also expensive television to support it, which the television is not even expensive anymore. However, unlike the PlayStation 4 that won't support 4K games, Microsoft Yusuf Madedi told Forbes, told Forbes that if the technology did arrive, the Xbox One could handle 4K games and other 4K content down the road. Now, this is coming straight from Microsoft's mouth. This is nearly $1 trillion company. They're not participating, quote unquote, in this console war. I'm gonna one up you. It's like, come on, they're talking about their pride, and they're not gonna sit there and lie to their investors. Like, come on, this is real shit here. They're not gonna just come out and tell, you know, unlike Sony, who does a bunch of lying about their numbers. They got sued. Like I said, you say, was that Nxtgen? You always on Sony. I'm not saying that Microsoft. I'm not saying that no company is perfect. But Sony has been on a record lying about a lot of shit. They got sued for lying about their PSP numbers and stuff like that. They add when they do their hardware total number, they add the PS3, the Vita, and they add all that. That's their hardware numbers. They got sued for that shit once before for adding the PSP numbers with the PS3 numbers. They got with the PS2 numbers. They got sued for that shit before. Like I said, it is what it is. We'll go back to the video though. Let me I know I got some new comments here. You know what I mean? Hey, King Bronson, you big on that Gears, man. I think it'll be out this holiday season. That'd be dope if they release it this summer. Andrew Scott, the PS4 and the Xbox One both support 4K video now, provided you have the right HDMI cable. Games will never be 4K this generation. In fact, the video just only released a 4K gaming GPU. No, they didn't just release a 4K GPU, Andrew Scott. A Titan can do 4K. The 970 can do 4K. I'm not saying 4K at 80 frames per second. You can do 4K on the Titan. You know, that came out a couple years ago, brother. You know, so now you're kind of wrong with that one right there. But listen, Andrew Scott, if you just read the link that I left there, you'll see what I'm talking about. Sony came out and already said that they won't be supporting 4K, not on this system here. Teddy's channel, next year I'm going to buy an Xbox One this month, but I'm not sure if I should wait in case Microsoft releases a newer version of the console at E3. Man, get you an Xbox One. Come on, hop on that Killer Instinct with me. $20, man. Hey, Teddy, man, buy your Xbox One. Killer Instinct's on me. All right, bro? We can rock, we can love. My gamer tag is out here. Let's have fun with this shit, all right? My gamer tag is out here. Teddy, get your Xbox One. Let's hop on this motherfucking Killer Instinct. I'll buy you, season. It's 2 seasons. I'll buy you what you need. I'll buy you. You can get the combo. I think the Ultra, whatever pack. Because I buy them at the Ultra, whatever the hell. Because I get all the accessories and stuff. But I think it's $20 or $15 per season, maybe even cheaper than that. But if you get your Xbox One, hit me up. I'll buy you one of the Killer Instinct. Let's have fun. We can live stream it, man. Let's have fun with that. I mean, personally, I'm not one that cares how my console looks. That motherfucker, I like when my black. That motherfucker looks sexy with the TV. But shout out to the 71 people watching me live. I will be doing, like I said, I will be getting another one. I got 2 Windows tablets, man. My wife got the Surface Pro 3 at work right now, but she bought it for me and takes my shit to work every day. Like how you gonna buy me a gift and take it to work every day, huh? That's women for you. One Shell Morgan, shit, I can't even afford a MacBook, so I won't have one until we go on 8K. Hey man, listen, Monshell, listen, my little bro right there. Hey, Jay, listen, that's my bro right there. Jay Bites of Chicken, man. What's up, dude? Got a developer in the house. Told you guys I fuck with developers, man. One of my developer buddies right there, man. I don't just be talking, man. I met some real solid dudes within this industry. Me just doing videos, man. You know what I mean? Me just doing videos, man. Like you said, we have yet to see the true potential of the Xbox, man. I'm telling you, it was made for DirectX 12. It wasn't made for DirectX 11, man. Like I said, one of the big things for the Xbox One we're gonna see is the PIX tool, and that's to do with the eSRAM. You know what I mean? We know, the Xbox One is still the only console with NDAs on it. Still, it's been out for 2 years. That's like some serious shit went inside this machine, man. It wasn't made for DirectX 11, man. It wasn't. It was made for DirectX 12 and Windows 10. I don't see why that's so hard to believe. I'm leaving you guys links here. You can read it for yourself. You know what I mean? I'm not just making this shit up. You know what I mean? Let me refresh the page here too. Let's have fun with this. Nick Barnes. Gears is why I bought the Xbox in the first place. I knew the PS4 would have no games for 2 years, and it still dries shit on a Sunday day. He says still dries shit on a sunny day. Oh man. The 890M can do 4K. I don't know what the fuck the 890M is. Is that an AMD card? I don't know much about AMD cards, bro. I'm an NVIDIA dude, to be honest with you. Nick Barnes, the new Xbox One Slim with the new hardware, my guess, the HDMI 2.0, which allows high frame rate 4K HDMI, is limited. Listen, it's limited to 4K 30 frames per second. You're not gonna get no 4K 60 frames per second on the console, on the 300 console. You can get that. I don't give a what's under that. So HDMI 1.4 is fine, which comes with the Xbox One. You're not gonna get no 4K. You're not gonna get no 4K 60 frames a second on the 300 console. I'm not saying that. Like a Titan can't give you no 4K at 60 frames. You understand what I'm saying? And that was $1,000 card at the time. So we got to be realistic here. You know what I mean? The Slim, I don't listen. I'm fine with what I have here. You know what I mean? Xbox God, oh my God, you are fucking stupid. It wouldn't be the Xbox One if it had a different hardware. You fucking retard. Oh, he's talking to the Nick Barnes. I think he was talking to me. Like, Jesus, hold up, Xbox God. I ain't never had a problem with you. Hold on, maybe make some more comments. Refresh some of the new comments here. What's up, Mush Mouth, man? Let me go back. Let's keep this conversation, man. Let's keep them civilized, man. Let's have fun with this, man. You don't get too many YouTubers that do this, what I'm doing, you know what I mean? I just like if we do it to have fun, you know what I mean? Not to disrespect nobody, man. We ain't here whether it be a Sony dude, everybody's welcome. You know what I mean? But back, you know, if you're just joining, I'm gonna start over from start what I'm saying again. If you're just joining, and you can leave your comments here. The Xbox One, if you're in the beta program, just received the update. It says here 10-bit. Well, let me start right here. First of all, the new update releases the OS 6.2.1, a whole bunch of other numbers. It said it fixes addresses to multiplayer issues across a few titles, makes some smaller updates to party apps to help team better understand issues reported by the community. Game bundles update fixes an issue with certain types of disc-based bundle games were not properly installed. 10-bit, this is very important. If you guys listen now, 10-bit HD high efficiency video coding, aka HEVC platform supported added. 10-bit HD HEVC enables video streaming apps like Netflix to use lower bandwidth to deliver HD quality video streams. I repeat, apps like Netflix to use lower bandwidth to deliver HD quality of video streams. 10-bit ultra color increases the video color precision from 8 bits to 10 bits. With 8 bits, you only get 16 million colors, but with 10-bit ultra color precision, you get 1 billion lifelike colors. And you know, they don't call it really 4K, they call it Ultra HD. So, you know, with this new update, you said colors would say with 10-bit ultra color precision, you get 1 billion lifelike colors. So you're going from 16 million to 1 billion. So what's that? 4K. You know what I mean? So we can now be able to do Netflix and all that stuff. And if, you know, Netflix and probably Hulu, all that stuff in 4K resolution, which is going to be crystal fucking clear. Crystal fucking clear. Probably also too, you know, 4K background, you know, screenshots. It's all that stuff is coming, man. Now I'm gonna go back to this, and you guys that know, I say I got a bunch of new people in here. I'm gonna read this article again. I left the articles in here. So if you say I'm not making, I think some of you guys are jumping out the window saying I'm making this shit up. And I'm gonna read this last time. I'm gonna read it. So if you guys are just joining, I'm doing this for y'all, and you can leave your comment here. We can discuss it. Microsoft Larry Heinberg, Major Nelson, has confirmed that the Xbox One hardware is able to output in 4K resolution and will support 3D content following the console's big reveal on Tuesday. The official word came during a Yahoo chat session held on Wednesday, at which Heinberg said the Xbox One supports both 3D and 4K when responding to a question. Of course, the gamers are not yet supported in 4K. I've said that, as the technology has not been made mainstream in game studios. But on the Xbox One, users will have the ability to play 4K resolution movies through the Blu-ray drive when the console launches later this year. And they have the also expensive televisions to support it. However, unlike the PlayStation 4 that won't support 4K games, Microsoft Yusuf Medini told Forbes that the technology that arrives, the Xbox One could handle 4K games and 4K content down the road. Microsoft has done a bit of future-proofing here for when 4K makes its way into more homes across the world in the coming years. There are no hardware restrictions there at all, Mehdi said. Until we see the 4K ship, the Xbox One will output games in 1080p. I repeat the last part of the sentence. He said, however, unlike the PlayStation 4 that won't support 4K games, Microsoft used they told Forbes that if the technology did arise, the Xbox One can handle games at 4K and 4K content down the road. Now, what I'm saying with these games are most likely going to be games like Idar, Limbo. You know, you think about it. You don't think a game like Shovel Knight's can be done in 4K on the Xbox One? Just think about that. You know what I mean? You know, I'm not saying they're going to be AAA exclusive. They most likely going to be these little, you know, down little Castle Crashes and, you know, what's the other one? With the little short kids. It might be little games like South Park and stuff like that. You know what I mean? That can be done in 4K resolution. Damn, I'm hot in here. I'm sweating because I can't cut the fan on in the air conditioner. I want it blowing off the mic, so I want to make it, you guys can hear me clearly. You know what I mean? I'm not saying games like Gears of War 4 or Halo 19. You know what I mean? Also, too, I'm telling you right now, these games that are coming out this holiday season that are going to use DirectX 12, you know what I mean, native, you know, you're going to use it from the ground up. It will look better than anything that's been done thus far on the PlayStation 4. And I'm willing to bet anybody in this comment section We can do $20. We can do whatever. We can make some Microsoft points. If you're a Sony dude, we can make it PlayStation points. We can do You can even be an Xbox dude. They don't believe it. But it's crazy because you know what's crazy as hell? I've done this video before. You know what I mean? I got called everything but a child of God. And I just ran with this one. And it's not that I'm just going by what I had, several Xbox channels attacking me. The guy from We Game here never had a problem with little dude or nothing. Darius King did a video about me shots fired. Like I'm making this shit up. And mind you, this is here black and white. This is not something that I'm saying. It's something that Microsoft is saying. That's why I tell you guys I don't really rock out with too many YouTubers. Everybody's looking to like crabs in the barrel. Instead of just standing in your own lane or say, I don't agree with you. Don't agree with me. I'm not asking you to agree with me. Say you don't agree with Microsoft. They don't want. This is a damn near $1 trillion company. You understand what I'm saying? What purpose do they have of lying? They're not partaking in this quote unquote console war. You know what I mean? The one up the other. They're not going to sit there and lie to their shareholders. Hey, this is what we made, ladies and gentlemen. This is what our console can do. You know what I mean? And what reason they have to lie? You know what I mean? Like I said, I don't pay Microsoft as being liars. Not saying that any company is perfect, but Sony has been on the record lying numerous times. You know what I mean? Numerous times. They even got sued for lying. They were adding even with their numbers. That's why I didn't believe the whole 22 million sold. Microsoft, they said maybe hardware period, because you understand shipped and sold is the same goddamn thing. When Microsoft and Sony they ship to retail, they sell it to Best Buy, they sell it to Mitchell. That's considered a sell. It doesn't get counted twice. Once they ship it, sell it to Best Buy, and then Best Buy turns around and sell it to the consumer, it doesn't get counted as two sales. You understand what I'm saying? Whatever leaves their warehouse and they ship it, that's considered a sell for them. That's when only this generation had this came on, that's only ship. Like all this shit is ship numbers. You know what I mean? Microsoft and Sony doesn't know what leaves the show when you know what I mean? That's what we had the NPD for. You know what I mean? We came up with sold at month. You know what I mean? Like, come on. That's the deal was sold to consumers, the NPD. You know what I mean? But like I said, with Sony, they deal with hardware numbers. You know what I mean? That's what's sold. You know what I mean? Like Microsoft, it's crazy. They scrutinize Microsoft. They talking about the 360 and the Xbox One for years. Sony have dealt with the PS3 numbers and the Vita numbers. With even the PS2 and the PS3 numbers. They've done this for years. It's hardware. You know what I mean? Is the Xbox One selling well? Yes, it is. Is the PS4 selling well? Yes, it is. Is the Wii U selling well? No, it's not. But that's neither here nor there. You know what I mean? Both of these consoles are far outpacing their predecessors. You know what I mean? And look, never in the history of gaming have you had all three companies be successful. There was no big losers last generation. Both the Xbox 360 and the PS3 are over about 90 million. You know what I mean? You understand what I'm saying? The Wii U was about 110, 120 million. Shit, the Wii U, the Xbox One, if I'm not mistaken, outsold the Wii U. Outsold the Wii in the UK and maybe in North America. I think they passed it in North America also. But worldwide, Microsoft doesn't have a presence in Japan. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You know what I mean? Microsoft finished in second place this last generation. But there are no real losers. They came back in this last holiday season. They surpassed the PS. They came back and surpassed the PS3. Like shit, the 360 outsold the Wii U on Black Friday. Like, you know what I mean? Like, goddamn, that is a fucking, that console's over 10 years old and still selling like fucking flapjacks. But back to what I was saying, you know what I mean? With this being, like, what I just, tidbit information I just told you, if you're in the preview program, I left the link if you can read that yourself also. Is this going to make you go out and get you a 4K television? That's the question at hand. I'm going to do a couple more of those before I close the video down. Would that make you go out and buy you a 4K television? Okay. MMDE, the Xbox One isn't a next-gen console, it's a current-gen console. The PS4 and the Xbox One both made with 4K image and video in mind. For example, Netflix soon have on 4K and PS4. Sony said they wasn't doing 4K, if I'm not mistaken. Unless you can find me an article saying that Sony will support 4K Netflix on a machine, I'm still going with no with that. Netflix, the boss of Netflix came out and said that Sony told them that they'd be releasing a newer machine that can do 4K. I might put the article in here. You know, I might put the article in here. You know, the boss from Netflix said that Sony told them that they were re-releasing a console that can do Netflix in 4K. If you didn't know, like if you have like me, this is a Sony 4K television right here. I have Netflix in 4K. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah, to the internet. But yeah, I have Netflix in 4K. You know what I mean? And this is a newer model too. When you see me have PlayStation Home on it, like I told you guys, I got several Sony 4K televisions in my house right now. You know what I mean? And I'm a Samsung dude, but they do make the best 4K television. I give credit where credit is due. Like I said, 8K is right around the corner. So like right now, the one I have in my front was the Sony 4K 55-inch. And then last summer that TV was $4,000. Now I was able to pick it up for $1,300. You understand what I'm saying? And then, I mean, like, I would never spend the first 4K television I spent over $9,000 for that TV. I would never, ever spend that much for a TV. So these 8K televisions come out and they're over like that. The most I'm spending for a TV is say $6,000. I'm not spending that much money ever again. I had a bunch of free money. You know what I mean? Not saying free money, ain't no money free, but it is what it is. If you guys go to my Instagram, Zaire 2005, you can see both sets there. I'm not bragging or boasting because the following week, we're crapping them no shows. So I went out and bought me another 4K television. I didn't say anything about it on my YouTube channel. You know what I mean? I'm here to talk about like some things I can't. You guys can talk about that $12,000 PC. And, like I think that was never said that I wouldn't show my PC. There was a bet that was made. He was supposed to buy the 100. He was supposed to buy 3 Xbox Live cards. I told him if I didn't show my PC, my rig, that I would shut down my channel and give him $300. When I said enough to show him rig and to show him, I got a video on my channel. You can probably find it. He didn't even pick up on Skype. Like, but he's commenting in my comment section. Like I said, all that shit was for show. Like I said, I'm not saying I'm not rich. I'm not saying I'm rich. I'm not saying I'm wealthy. I'm okay financially. You know what I mean? I'm gonna say that. You know what I mean? I drive a Corvette. Go to my Instagram. I got pictures of my car. I got a Range Rover also. I just bought a new car. Just knock around car. I just bought a Pathfinder. You know what I mean? That's to take the kids back and forth to school. And my wife has a Volvo truck and a BM. Like, we're okay. The Johnsons are okay. I mean, we're rich or anything like that, but I just think the amount of hate, no reason. That's why I don't tend to talk about that stuff. You guys just, with it's even sitting thought. I did a video making fun of Dr. Trey, and when I do my videos, like now, I don't have a script. I just freestyle. I did a video teasing him, offering him, when I first came to YouTube, I used to go back and forth with Dr. Trey all the time. I offered him $1,000 to grow some hair. I had about $43,000 in my pocket. And you can find my channel, the Zaire 2005 channel is no longer here. But if you go to Dr. Trey's old video, he made a video of me taking my same video, making fun of me and saying that what type of man would pay for another man looks. It was fun back then, you know what I mean? That's why I used to fuck with a lot of other YouTubers, but I don't fuck with a lot of other YouTubers because they're very, very jealous. You know what I mean? They very, very jealous, you know what I mean? PC right here, 2 980s in that motherfucker. I ain't even hooked the bitch up yet. Still sitting right there. Keyboard and everything still on top. I was waiting for Windows 10, you know what I mean? But it is what it is. I'm not a PC dude. I bought it initially for my son, but he was fucking up in school, so that's why I ended up. I might still even give it to him and take his PC. He got 2 690s, if I'm not mistaken, or 1 690 or something in his rig. I was gonna take that rig because I don't have a PC. I was gonna take that rig and give him that one right there that I got. Like I said, it was free money. I wanted it in the dice game. But he's fucking up in school. That's why I ended up keeping it. You know what I mean? Got it from Origin PC, but that's neither here or there. You know what I mean? Neither here or there. You know what I mean? I bought the one that paid $12,000. I got that from Origin PC. You know what I mean? That's neither here nor there. I got this one right here from again, which I shouldn't have got it from, but they had a deal and I had a coupon from iBuyPower. Don't ever buy a PC from iBuyPower. They had horrible customer service, man. You know what I mean? But the one I split the grid, I got that from Origin PC. But anyway, enough of that. I'm not talking about PCs. And shout out to the next people watching me live. The question is, yes, you know, go spit. My daughter has allergies, but that's why I didn't take it to school today. The question is to you guys, with this tidbit information about all this 4K content coming to the Xbox One, it's just gonna make you go out and buy a 4K television. Come here, blow your nose. Well, all right, go get your icy, okay?
I don't want the ice.
Okay, yes, sir. You got panties. You can't come in front of the camera, okay? All right, I'm almost done. Daddy, almost finished, okay? Okay, all right. I'm gonna give you your allergy medicine too, okay? My question is to you: if you don't have a 4K television, what I just told you, the Xbox One, are you going to get out and buy you? They said they're cheap now. Even Vizio has their line of 4K television. I think the E series, they're under $1,000. This is how it goes. The 1080p, well, this is how it went. The 720p outfades the 1080i TVs, okay? Now the 1080p outfades the 720p TVs. You can't really go. I'm about to get a 720p TV. They're hard to find, if any. And now the 4K televisions are outphasing the 1080p TVs. Like I said, they're really cheap right now. And to me, Sony has the best 4K TV on the market. And I'm a Samsung dude. You know what I mean? I'm a Samsung dude. Like, you know what I mean? These are two of the Samsung said this is from the Magnolia line. You know when you go into Best Buy and they have the TVs in the little apartment. Those are the high end ones. This is a very good TV right here. 3D 240 hertz, I believe. LED TV, very nice. I just had to sit against the wall. I wanted to give it to my grandmother, but she ain't into shit like that. But I didn't give it to my grandmother. I know my uncle would take it. So, but now I just take it to my house, and when grandma comes down to PA, my grandma don't care about shit like that. I paid about $5,000 for this set here a couple years ago, like 3 years ago. You know what I mean? But it's enough of that. The question is to you guys: would this make you upgrade to a 4K television? I'm sorry, get back on point. You know what I mean? Let me refresh the page. I'm gonna do a few more of these questions, and I'm gonna get up out of here. This video went on much longer than I thought it would. But so that's the new way I'm doing my videos, man. Like I get to talk to you guys, and I think they're more fun, they're more personable. You know what I mean? If you're just now joining, I have over 100 people in here. If you're just now joining, you know what I mean? If you're just now joining, the new update that came out for Microsoft is going to allow 4K streaming of Netflix to the console. Also, too, and I got so much hate from this when I did a video about it before. Yusuf Medini and Larry Heinberg said that the Xbox One will be able to output games native in 4K resolution. Now, I'm not saying they probably won't be big games like Gears of War, but it probably be games like Limbo, iDart, little games like that. You know what I mean? But like I also said in this video too, if you're just not tuning in, that the games that we see this holiday season that's coming to the Xbox One will look better than anything that we're seeing on the PlayStation 4. You know what I mean? Like I said, and you said, well, how is that possible? The Xbox One has problems running, you know, games in 1080p. First of all, I'm gonna tell you something. Resolution does not determine graphics. What determines graphics are your shaders and your textures. You look at a game like Rise, which was a launch game. Look at Rise. If you guys have an Xbox One, I advise you to go buy it. That's like literally what they was able to do with that on that old SDK kit baffles my fucking mind. Could you, so as I said, could you imagine what Rise 2 would look like? You know what I mean? And one of the most important things, like I said, you know, with DX12, I'm not saying it's going to change the chips inside the box, but, and I've got this from, you know, I'm not going to say any names, from a developer within the industry. The Xbox One was made for DirectX 12. You know, not for DirectX 11. And one of the most important tools that's coming along with that is called the PIX tools. You know what I mean, for the eSRAM. So when you had problems, a lot of times when games were not able to hit 1080p on the Xbox One, it was because of the eSRAM. Either they used it wrong, or you got two ways to use it. You use it the right way or you use it the wrong way. And with DX12, it's coming along called the PIX tool for the eSRAM. And it's going to show developers the best way to use the eSRAM. You know what I mean? You know, to this day, like I said again, the Xbox One is the only console still with NDAs. The console been out for 2 years. Like I said before, they spent $3 billion on this machine, man. $3 billion. You mean tell me they spend over $3 billion to walk away with a 900p machine? Just think about that. Just think about that. You know what I mean? I'm not saying the Xbox One is a supercomputer. I'm not saying that, but just some of the basic things that we know about DirectX 12, that, you know, the Xbox One has an 8-core CPU one core is allocated to the OS, but the 7 other cores can converse with the GPU simultaneously. Not you go, then I go, you go, then I go. They all can converse with the GPU simultaneously. You know what I mean? We still don't know what GPU is in the Xbox One. We're still waiting, and they still have an NDA with AMD. Like I'm just saying, like the Xbox One is a very capable machine, and I heard that from somebody at Ubisoft, and I heard that from somebody at Rockstar. And we have yet to see the scratch the surface of what the Xbox One can do. You know what I mean? Even the PS4. But what has to happen? Telling you guys right now, last generation has to die. It needs to go away. Because think about it like this, like a developer told me in layman's terms. You can take a game. You can even have 2 separate developers, right? But if take a game like Destiny, right, which was on the PS3, the PS4, the Xbox One, and the Xbox 360, right? Or we take a game like Titanfall. Didn't you know how great that game could have been visually if they only had to worry about DirectX 11 or higher? But that game still had to be made around the parameters of DirectX 9. You understand that? What I'm saying? In layman's terms, you know what I mean? And that's not to get all tech, and I'm not saying I'm a tech guy. That's what it was explained to me. You know, once they stop this cross-gen developing, games are going to look so much better, you know what I mean, for both platforms, you know what I mean, for both platforms. You know what I mean? Like you say, just no matter, they can't really push the hardware the way they want to because the game still has to be made. The same game. It's not like when they do these cross-gen games, we get 2 separate games. It's the same damn game. Just the Xbox One and the PS4 looks shinier. You know, it's the same damn game. You know what I mean? It still has to be made around the parameters, so like I said, of DirectX 9. You know what I mean? I'm gonna read a few of these questions and we can get the hell up out of here. Donovan Anderson, the Xbox, the best box. Damn, dog, the ponies are scared now. Music, gaming, Jaden. Next gen, if the Xbox One can barely do 1080p, what made you think that it can run 4K with DirectX shall boost the resolution to 4K? Explain how, please. This is true. I'll buy the Xbox One. Okay, all right. Donovan, I left a link in the video if you want to read that, you can. It's not that it can barely do 1080p. That's one of the biggest misconceptions in this world. You know what I mean? The Xbox One was made for DirectX 12, okay? It was, you know what I mean? And I'm gonna explain it to you like this. DirectX 12 will make everything running the Xbox One more efficiently. You know what I mean? Like I said before, all the Maya, why do you keep coming in here? Daddy, you don't have any clothes. Yeah. Well, and go sit down. Daddy be done in 2 minutes, okay? You don't have any pants. Go find a pair of pants. You come in. Go get your pants. I put your pants when you come in. Go. All right? You go get your pants.
My mom said no.
All right, but go sit down. You go sit down. Go get your pants. You can put your pants when you can come in here. All right, well, go sit down then. All right. I'm sweating like a motherfucker, man. I'm sweating like, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, is I can't cut the fan or the air conditioner on because I don't want it to echo off the mic. It's not that, like I said, it can't run games in 4K resolution. Like I said, the Xbox One was never made for DirectX 11. It wasn't. It was made with DX 12 and Windows 10 in mind. You know, and one of the big things, like I said before, that's coming with the ESRAM. You know, bro, and with DirectX 12 is tile resources. The fact they can take about 4 gigs of textures and put them in, and allocate them to like a little bit of ESRAM and make available when they need it. Well, just I got a development game right now. I'm not gonna say his name, but just with talent resources alone is gonna be huge. So if you're still thinking that the Xbox One, bro, listen, we're talking about a damn $1 trillion company, bro. What reason did he have to lie to the investors? I'm not saying to you that games like games like Halo 5 or all that's going to be in 4K resolution, but games like even 4-3 Studios said that the Halo 2, the Master Chief Collection, that could have been done in 4K if they didn't have to run the same engine, had to run both engines simultaneously, being able to switch between the old version of the game and the new version of the game on the fly. You know what I mean? That could have been done in 4K. This is Google it. It's not me making this shit up. Google it, you know what I mean? I don't, if we're talking about damn near $1 trillion company with no reason to lie, like they have no reason to lie. Like the Xbox One was made for DirectX 12 and Windows 10. You know what I mean? I'm in the beta. You know, like trust me. Once you see, if you don't have an Xbox One, you have a PC. The way that thing goes together is beautiful. It's like a hand in a glove, man. Like I'm bullshit you not, man. The reason why they call it the Xbox One, because everything that Microsoft is, DirectX, cloud computing, Windows, everything that they're in, all in one machine, man. You know, they spend $3 billion. You think they spend $3 billion to walk away with weaker hardware, when Sony spent only 400 million? You know what I mean? Just think about that, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Look at the strides the Xbox One has made since launch. And again, 1080p does not give you better graphics. You look at a game named Rise. Name me one game on the PS4 that looks better than Rise. I'm just being honest. And you can't really judge those games by game. That's a launch game at that. And for them to compare Rise to the Order 1886, that's letting you know right there. And that was a launch game. Did you hear the specs that are coming out for Forza Horizon 6? Did you hear? Come on, 3D puddles, over 450 cars, 24 players, races, split screen. You know how much resources that takes to run. You know what I mean? It's like running the game twice. 1080p, locked 60 frame. The Xbox One is the only, between the PS4, the only one to have a AAA game exclusive. Read my words, AAA exclusive that's locked to 1080p, 60 frames a second with Forza 5. Now you have your second that we know about so far, Forza Horizon 6. That's locked. The reason why Forza Motorsport 6. The reason why Forza Horizon 2 couldn't be 1080p, locked 60 frames a second, because it was open world. But no telling about Forza Horizon 3, what they're working on already. Go Turtle played the Fable Legend beta this weekend for the first time, and the best graphic game I ever played on the scene on Nxtgen. I've been telling you guys forever. Before I knew whatever, and listen, let's say this right now. Before I knew, shout out to Go Turtle, Jesse Howell. Before I knew what was in, Fable, and I do have a great TV. Now, when you're the enemy, I don't like the way it looks. I don't like that. It reminds me of the RTS. I don't care. But when you're the hero, some of those particle effects and shards, you be like, God damn. My Instagram is Zaya 2005. If you want to see my, like I have some stuff, you want to see my cars or want to see my 4K televisions, Zaya 2000. And those TVs you see there, that's in my older place. I had a fire, but I since replaced them. And I got, new ones, you can see there behind me, one in the front, but I have one in my bedroom. You know what I mean? I say live wires, put animation. Sony doesn't have the tech nor the resources to do what Microsoft can do. Look how far the Xbox One has pulled away from the PS4 in just about 2 years. Right about this, it's constantly evolving. Years of being out, and PS4 came out first. PS4 is stuck in the mud right now in total. That's what its games and with its features. People that can turn on their Xbox from their phone, it's not a huge thing to have put, but it's a great option. Which is what you don't get with the PS4. PS4 has share play, which works for an hour, but I can let my friends play my games without being online. PS4 is like an iPhone, nice, but very limited and compared to Android phone. Microsoft is in every PC, including Apple. So really, how can Sony compete with that? Hey, maybe I'm crazy for thinking a company that has been pushing the industry forward for over 20 in the past year and has big plans for the future of gaming. You're right about that. We haven't even seen, we're talking about the cloud. They stopped talking about it. Phil said they're going to let the game speak for itself. But, when they eventually came out and said the cloud can make the Xbox One 36 times more powerful. You know what I mean? Like, why would they come out and make a bold statement like that and not let that be true? He said they're going to let the game speak for itself. You know what I mean? So, it is what it is. But like I said, since I've been doing this shit here, since I've been, doing this thing right here, I've met people, and everyone behind the scenes that work on games, said that we have yet to scratch the surface. What either console, in fairness, what either console can do. But he said there's a big misconception that the Xbox One is underpowered, man. Look, just being honest, while Sony pushing that whole 1080p agenda, normally, who runs the games better? The Xbox One, and choose to go to a dynamic resolution. Who runs the games better? I'm just being real. Look, you take a game like Project Cars, right? which is 900p, 60 frames a second on the Xbox One. Riddle me this. And Project Cars is 900p, 60 frames a second on the Xbox One. You got Forza Horizon. Well, what do you want? Yeah, Blow, come closer. Go get your pants. You can come in. Go get your pants. Yeah. Oh, look in your room on the bed. Get a pair of pants. Or get a pair of shorts. I'm sorry. You take the Project Cars, like I said, it was 900p, 60 frames a second, right? Am I right? Now you take Forza Horizon 2, 24-player racer, dual split screen. It's more than like damn doubling what you can do on Project Cars, and that's when they're able to do 1080p, 60 frames a second. I'm telling you guys, and he already came out and said, in order to be going to be the big key secret, that their games can be patched with DirectX 12. I think that's the loophole that Microsoft is leaving. When they announced at E3, you even had the developer from The Witcher and the developer Batman and said that, oh yeah, talking about PC. They're not saying much about the console, but yeah, our games can be patched with DirectX 12 on PC later on as they come out. So they can patch it on PC. Why can't they patch it on the Xbox One? It's DirectX 12, Windows 10, right? What does that? Let's think about that. Yes, we're going to be able to patch it. We're going to be able to patch it on Windows 10 and DirectX 12 on the PC, but we're not going to be able to patch it on the Xbox One. Just think about that, man. You know. Bart this Kitty PL. He said he doesn't care about 4K, brother, but we're willing to get an Xbox One Slim. You say that, a lot of people say they don't care about 4K until you actually get it in your house. I guarantee you this, if you see 4K in your house and you run it every day, it's night and day. Like, I bullshit you not. Like, it's night and fucking day. Like, it'll fucking blow your fucking mind. Like, just for movies alone, like, it looks so realistic and it looks fake. Like, me and my wife, so she didn't just like to watch the TV because it looked fake to her. We was looking at Blu-rays and looking at Netflix, like Breaking Bad, the series, and Law and Order, looking at this shit in 4K, it was like, God damn, like, this shit look realistic. You know what I mean? It looks realistic. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's not even, like I said, it's not even night and day. Clyde Jackson, what's up, Nxtgen? I'm a member of your Twitch channel, aka Handy Gamer. But in the who is this great news for Xbox? Even Xbox fan now, I just can't wait to get my Xbox One to your ass in KI Mortal Kombat. Nigga, like I said, hey Clyde Jackson, don't sing it, bring it, baby. Get that Xbox One, man. Don't sing it, bring it. Hey, Jay Bison Chicken, do me a favor. Okay, you want to play? Sit down right here, you can play it. Right? Sit down right here, you can play it. Sit down right here on the floor. Sit down on the floor. Sit down. There you go. You got your mother's dress right away.
My mom's gonna be hollow. Dad like people.
Oh, there you go. I'm sorry, how come, ladies and gentlemen? Here you go.
That's not doing. I think somewhere else, okay? Okay.
Here I come, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep, that. I think so.
Here I come, ladies and gentlemen. Here you go.
So you have to
I don't have my Connect hooked up right now. I will just say Xbox right now. Okay, yeah, hey, Clyde Jackson, don't sing it, just bring it. Hey, Jay, bite some chicken. Do me a favor, good brother Jay. Give me a code to Smite. Put it in my inbox on Skype, please. I'm getting everybody. I gave all my damn codes away. Didn't play for my damn self. Why does everyone hate Crap Gamer? Probably because his breath smells like dog shit. That's right, why they hate him. All right, me. All right, but anyway, like I said, it's been real, man. I've been having fun. It's been a great conversation, man. I got.
And now Sylvie Carla. Me.
Hold on 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on, here I come. 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. I got a good question here. Hold on, here I come. But anyway, like I said, it's been real, man. We having good fun. I got here. Hold on 1 second. Thank you, my man Jay from Kilobytes, man. Gears Gauntlet. Look out for that game. A great indie game. You know what I mean? It's a great indie game. Hopefully, when the game launches, we bring it back on the show. We can promote this game. My man Jay from Kilobytes. Okay, you want to play it again? Told you my daughter. Oh, pick another board. Told you my daughter beast in this damn paper. Look, she's only 4 years old. Look at this shit. 4 years old. She's back there doing that damn thing, man. And paper. She cleared the board already. No, you're not going the wrong way. No. You're doing that's the wrong. Give me the controller. You're doing the wrong one. That's not a board.
What?
It's not. It's a trial. And you're not going to do this. It's not for kids. This one's not for kids. It's a trial. Yeah. Let's listen to your fathers. I'm being hard here. It's your damn headphone. And that's how you know you listen. Here, you pick another board.
That one don't want to use the car. I want the main one.
Oh.
I want the slow one.
All right.
That's for the kids.
Yeah, you want the troll?
Yeah.
There you go. Now sit down and play. I'm sorry.
And then you gotta take that
Yeah, I'm sweating like a motherfucking car thief, man. Hold a bit of light. Yomo Flomo put, I believe this can happen in games for the Xbox One with the cloud computing. It's definitely possible to have a game running in 4K. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like if Phil Spencer said, let the games speak for themselves. Just they try to talk until they have something that we can see. We can talk about it to be blue in the face, but until we see it. Now here it is. It's crazy. I've been attacked 4 times on this video right here. When I left actual proof here, and I'm still being, one guy said, man, fuck you. This is too much propaganda. I just wait for big game of small talk for crap to do it. This is too much propaganda. And I'm leaving the fucking proof. Like I told the dude, lucky my daughter's right here. You know what I mean? Suck the dick with shit on the side. Lucky my daughter right here. I can't talk the way I want to, but like when what's crazy? Like I said again, I've done a video of this in the past, and I got called everything but a child of God. And I had all these Xbox gamers, YouTubers attack me. That's what it is. That's what it is. The smaller YouTubers attack the bigger YouTubers, and not saying that I'm big or anything, but it's what they do to draw attention to their channel. And the Sony dudes that don't like me will flock to their channel. Oh, look, he's attacking Nxtgen. He's a true Xbox gamer. Not saying that you just do your homework. It's not that I made this shit up. Regardless, if you can't see it now, you know what I mean? This is what we're talking about a $1 trillion company. This is what they're saying. You know what I mean? Allen's 260 said most consoles will have APIs to improve the performance over time. I'm not expecting much until maybe mid-2016 from a graphical standpoint. By that time, last gen should be on its way out. Hey, bro, last gen is on its way out this year. Ubisoft is dropping support. EA is dropping support. You can see Star Wars. The new Star Wars game is not coming to the 360, the PS3. Only thing you're going to probably see sports titles from 2K and from Madden. You know what I mean? And those, and I'm happy for 2K. They're 2 different games. You know what I mean? They're 2 different games entirely. You know what I mean? But like I said, it is what it is. Oh, crap game review. Is this Nxtgen in 480i? I'm your biggest fan. 4Gen 80i. He says, okay, the CRX Star, the truth is beginning to come out. On the previous multiplayer, they were unable to hit 1080p. Were using old SDK kits and old engine. The Xbox One was designed to utilize DX12 and to run next generation game engines. Why do people think Microsoft supplied a 4K cable with their console? For the fun of it, those cables cost money, which they do. I bought 4 of them. Why do people think they're still NDAs? It is new technology. Multiple core processing is not closer to the metal. It's changing how the metal works. Bang bang. A CXR Star. Thank you for putting that, bro. You know this has been my testimony for years. Not years. I'm saying I've been saying that shit since DX12 was announced. You guys may not. If you're new to my channel, I'm the one that starts saying, what if the DX12 is coming to the Xbox One? Do you know how much, not badly I got attacked on the internet? You know how bad, you know, y'all had one jokey icy brother who shut his channel down, made him, he had this gripe or this axe to grind against me and crapping my whole podcast. This was just starting out, you know what I mean, making a fool of himself, and come to find out I was right, you know what I mean. I don't know why PC gamers think they're so much smarter than console gamers. Let me say this, okay? If my Windows tablet received a performance boost with DirectX 12, if crap gamers Windows phone receive a performance with DirectX 12, why wouldn't my Xbox One with newer hardware receive a performance boost? Just think about that. If my tablet received a 14 frames per second boost, my tablet, you just talk about my tablet, why wouldn't my Xbox One? I told you guys before, don't be surprised when there be some games that they're going to be 1080p, a lot 60 frames per second on the Xbox One, and they're going to be 1080p, 30 frames per second on the PS4. I told you guys that. You guys call me everything but a child of God. I mean, it's like I said before, Microsoft has spent $3 billion to walk away with a 900p machine. Just think about that, man. And like my man said, it came with a 4K HDMI bar. Just think about it. Now, like I said again, are you guys willing to get these 4K televisions? They're on the way. I'm about to, with crap cheap ass, I'm about to drag him through the door, technology, grabbing and kicking and screaming. Or I might have to purchase this cheap motherfucker one we gonna have for something. Because, you know what I mean? I'm telling you, once you see 4K, yes, Maya. Okay, hit, try it again. Hit A. Try it again. You shouldn't even be over there. Why are you over there? I told you it's not for you. I told you. Stay where I left you at. These are trials. Stop being hard-headed. Stay where I left you at. Those are for adults. Those are not for kids. That's a trial. You can't do the trials. You don't have skills like that yet.
I have skills.
I know you got skills. When she works, when she got skills. You're gonna burnt out. But they're not like that. Those are for mommy and daddy. Those are trials. You gotta play this. These are for the kids. All right. Yeah, get it. You can do it. Let me see you do it. Let me do it.
Cool.
Not cool? All right, get the hell out there. Bye.
It's not cool.
I don't care. She's a sweet little girl here. Wants to do the trial. That's why she got skill. All right, stay out of my room. Thank you. Little girl got an attitude problem. She spoiled as hell, and it's my fault, man. I spoiled the hell out of that girl. King B, but I agree with the Andy can probably be done in 4K. It can be, like I said, read the article that I left there. You know, I mean, it's not something that I'm making up. Like I'm just, you know. But also too, like I said in the podcast yesterday, that would be a good way to advertise 4K. Is these games that are done with on the box put, hey, only, you know, done with mastered in 4K. Oh, I'm sorry, not 4K. Done with DX12. Man, you know, I mean, this game was made with DX12. You know, put it on the box, and now they got on the Xbox One, only on the Xbox or something like that. Put here, you know, only when, even with the exclusives, probably would be the first game. We'll put done with DX12. Put DX12 somewhere in the box. So, oh damn! So you get the public talking. Oh, that's a DX12 game. So that would make more developers adapt. Hey, Phil and Greenberg, if you guys are listening to me, trust me. Like I said, you know, you guys are sometimes a little out of the loop. I got my finger on the pulse of the industry. If you start putting that little DX12 with games that are done with it, start putting that DX12 symbol on those boxes. So it will get the average Joe talking about, like, damn, these graphics are amazing. Is this because of DX12? And, you know, so right away, damn, is this done with DX12? Is this done with it? It's going to get everybody talking about it. Everybody talking about it. Like, they first put 1080p on the back of the box. Like, oh, this game here 1080p. Or this movie 1080p. It's going to get everybody talking about it. So now everybody in the world knows what 1080p is. Do the same thing with DirectX 12 and Windows 10. You know, done with DX12, Windows 10. Put that on the box and get the average Joe, the casual gamer talking about it. This is going to be huge. Hello? Oh, okay. Well, she got a key, don't she? You know what I mean? So, hold on one second, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. I need a break. She's leaving. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? So, like I said, but anyway, this has been going on long enough. Okay, what Drink to Troll Gamer said, what developer do you think would be the first to do 4K? What developers? In-house developers. You know what I mean? You know what 4K? I would say it's going to be games that are made, arcade type games. I think what we're going to see, arcade type games. I don't know too many indie game developers. Hey, look, prime example. My brother, Jay Bikes for Killer Bikes. You know what I mean? My man Jay. You know what I mean? He can, like, his game Gauntlet Gear. Jay, I'm quite sure that probably can be done in 4K. You know what I mean? Like, just being real. You know what I mean? Because it's not asking much graphically. A game like Tetris could probably be done in 4K. A game like Geometry Wars could probably be done in 4K. You know what I mean? It's not, demanding graphically. You know what I mean? So, like I said, do you guys know? I don't. Okay, 4K is mostly like going to happen this year. 4 gaming. Listen, brother. My guess 2K, 4K gaming is most likely not going to happen this generation for either of the two. By October, when Sony and Microsoft do their hardware refresh, both will be able to output 4K video. Hey, listen, I'm not saying that you're right or wrong, but according to Microsoft, their console can do it. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? You got to take it up with $1 trillion company. You know what I mean? They saying that their console can do it. 343 Studios said that the Halo Master Chief Collection, the Part 2, could have been done in 4K, but they had to run dual engines. This is not me saying this. This is coming from developers, man. I don't think they would go on a record and lie like that. There's no need to. You know what I mean? But anyway, this is your boy Nxtgen 720. He said Christopher Teller heard that Sunset's getting a Part 2 at E3. That would be dope. You know what would be dope for me? They announced at E3, Rise, Son of Rome 2. You know what I mean? To me, I think that was dope. What made that game kind of repetitive, they didn't let you upgrade your weapons, and they gave you a spear or some fiery whips or something. Like, I understand it was a launch game. That game would have been much better. You know what I mean? So I know with Part 2, like, I know that game could be official off the hook, man. The storyline of Rise, like, the guys were just playing the game. Like, look at that ending. Like, the cutscene was, like, amazing. You know what I mean? It was amazing. It blew my mind. You know what I mean? It blew. You know what I mean? It was amazing. It blew my mind. It was amazing. You know what I mean? Read the article. People, you in the house? Yeah, you got to come upstairs. She took the clothes off. I'm doing the video. Yeah, they on the couch. Okay, read the article. People can't. You read? Yeah, I mean, I'm left it right there for people to read. Like I said, why when you claim something from Microsoft, they seem to speak in riddles where they are not. Hold on, Gamer for Life, Nxtgen. Why when you claim something from Microsoft, they seem to speak in riddles where they are not precise and to the point, and you capitalize on it by translating that into something that you want it to mean. What did I capitalize? I mean, I read here clear as day what this thing said. If you don't know, I read it to you. I don't understand what I capitalized. You know what I mean? I mean, it is what it is. Are you talking about Albert Pinello? I mean, common sense. Why would they give their biggest competitor 30% advantage? I'm just looking about the money they spent on the Xbox and what they cost to spend to develop the PS4. It's not even close. This is not even close. And I read this to you. If you don't think this is 4K, I don't know what the hell's wrong with you. 10-bit HD high efficiency video coding, which stands for HEVC platform support added. 10-bit HD HEVC enables video streaming apps like Netflix to use lower bandwidth to deliver HD quality video streams. 10-bit ultra color increases the video color precision from 8 bits to 10 bits. With 8 bits, you only get 16 million colors. But with 10-bit ultra, mind you, they don't call it really 4K video, they call it Ultra HD. But with 10-bit ultra color precision, you get 1 billion lifelike colors that makes your video more vibrant. 1 billion lifelike colors. I'm gonna do like a preacher now. 1 billion lifelike colors. Like, come on, man. It says it's right. I left the links in the video. It's not me, you know, talking or Microsoft talking in Q. They asked them, could your console do 4K? They said yes. It's not me talking in riddles, good brother. It says it right here, clear as day. I don't know what more you want me to say for you, man. You know what I mean? I like, you know, it says it right there, clear as day. I'll read it to you here. I'll read it to you right here. You know what I mean? Hey, little bro, give me 2 seconds, nigga. We gonna get this game popping. I'm doing this video. Give me 2 seconds, all right? 2 seconds. And I listen before I go. I'm gonna read. Listen before I go. I'm gonna read because I know I got some people just now join the preacher. Microsoft Larry Hybrid, Major Nelson has confirmed that the Xbox One hardware is able to output in 4K resolution. I repeat, this is not talking in riddles here, and the link is in the video. Microsoft Larry Hybrid, Major Nelson has come out and confirmed that the Xbox hardware is able to output in 4K resolution. This will support 3D content following the console's big reveal on Tuesday. Now, you just think Microsoft is going to come out or, you know, and make up a lie like that? Just come out of nowhere, you know what I mean? Just come out. Yeah, we can do 4K and it's not be true. Just think about that. You know, this is going to come out. Sony has never said this, ever. Sony has never said any of this, but Microsoft has come out and said that. Microsoft Larry Hybrid, Major Nelson has confirmed that the Xbox One hardware is able to output in 4K resolution and will support 3D content following the console's big reveal on Tuesday. The official word came during a Yahoo chat session held on Wednesday, at which Hybrid said the Xbox One supports both 3D and 4K. Remember, at launch, the Xbox One didn't even do 3D when it came to an update. Supports both 3D and 4K when responding to a question. Of course, games are not yet supported in 4K as the technology has not been made mainstream to game studio. But on the Xbox One, users would have the ability to play 4K resolution. Console launches later this year if they have the so expensive television to support it. However, unlike the PlayStation 4 that won't support 4K gaming, Microsoft Youssef Mededi told Forbes that if the technology did arise, the Xbox One could handle 4K games and other 4K content down the road. Microsoft has a bit of future proofing here for when the 4K makes its way into more homes across the world with restrictions at all. There's no hardware restriction at all. It's the Church of Xbox now. There's no hardware restriction at all. Mededi said, until we see the 4K shift, the Xbox One will output games in 1080p. Ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, I'm going to end this video. Woo! And as I always say, bang, bang. Damn, dog. Gundam style. I'm just saying, though, man. I'm just saying. But no, it's been real. Thank you guys for watching me, man. It's been a great video. I didn't think I would go on this long about this little teeny bitty subject, but I had fun doing it. And thank you guys, man. You got me here sweating like a motherfucking slave. I'm out here sweating. I'm out here sweating like I'm working in Crap Gamer's yard. Yes, miss.
I was gonna take her to the mall. We need to go take her stuff back.
What take it with you?
She don't want to go. She said I'm too sick.
I need a break. She's driving me crazy. Come on, I'm going to the mall too. Come on. Say go. Your mother, hey, you got to go. You got to get the hell up out. Hey, come here, Chanel. Come here. Come here. Yeah, they want to see. Come here. Want to see how to come here. Come here.
No.
Come here.
I said no.
Come here. Please come to this. They think I'm living a bachelor's life, but you threw me out.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, this
I don't
is.
want to get on camera.
Come here. It's a bad like that.
Hi.
You can't even see. Come here. Come here.
Want to go on camera? Please stop.
I'm just not live yet, so I'm gonna edit it out.
Okay.
Just come on, scoot over, so I can take your pictures. Scoot down. This is my ugly wife, Mrs. Nxtgen 720. I know she's boot butt ugly, but I gotta work with what I'm giving.
What are you doing?
You know, man, I gotta work with what I'm giving. You know, man, I'm not as slim as I used to be. But anyway, it's your boy Nxtgen. I'm out of here. Bang bang.